Its management shakeup continues as the people in charge of human resources and public relations have left the company in the wake of the company's ignition switch issues. So GM certainly a focus, not just because of the stock, but also because it's auto show week here in New York. Guys, back over to you.
Oh, that's right, Dom. Thank you. 2014 is gearing up to be a record setter when it comes to auto recalls. And here we thought those were all in the past, Bill.
Yeah.
GM and Toyota, take a look. Two of the companies just in the headlines lately and already seeing pretty clear effects on their shares.
And if this pace continues, the U.S. is on track to break the recall record, a dubious record indeed, which could cause concerns for investors of these companies, possibly scare off car buyers at the same time. For just how this is all affecting the auto sector, we're joined by the car coach, auto analyst Lauren Fix, and Eric Ibarra, senior analyst at Kelley Blue Book. Good to see you both. Thank you for joining us today. Eric, you're all about values and prices on cars. Could we see a dampening effect with all these recalls on the value cars, especially when you consider how robust the used car market has been the last few years?
Yes, well, thank you for having me on your show.
Yep.
So far, I think it's too soon to tell exactly how GM is going to be impacted by the recalls. Their sales are down by 2.3% through the first quarter of the year. At the same time, the industry was up by 1.3%. However, most of the decline for GM was based on a cutback in rental volume, which was a decision that was totally voluntary on the part of GM.
Okay. You know, Lauren, here's the interesting thing. At the same time, we've had these record headlines, record recalls, and all of that. The auto sales numbers last month are really strong.
Yeah.
True, I mean, but there was a lot of incentives involved as well. So that's something that you have to take into calculation, that if there were no incentives, you know, what would consumers be purchasing? The incentives are a very big part of getting people into those showroom floors.
So it's the old profitless prosperity. They're moving inventory, but they're not making any money. Is that it, Lauren?
It depends on the car. I mean, if you're looking at a new Corvette, there's a super high demand for them, and they're going to sell them out. If you're looking at the new Porsche, you know, GT3, same type of thing. But when you're looking at everyday driver cars that people are owning, to get them in the showroom, to get rid of the cars they have, unless their leases are coming to an end, you kind of need an incentive. And if you're not going to do it, your competitor will, and that's what you're seeing happening right now.
That's exactly what I was going to ask, Eric. To what extent are other brands coming under pressure because they have to offer similar incentives or are doing so to capitalize on what may be some, you know, nervousness among the buying public?
Well, there's no doubt that there is increased competition this year. We are seeing incentives going up. But at the start of the year, we were projecting 16.3 million in total sales for 2014. And that would represent an increase of about 4.5% over the 2013 levels. So we think that auto sales still remain strong.
Yeah, they've got to, Lauren, to meet some of these estimates. I mean, Morgan Stanley, when they downgraded GM the other day, among other factors, said the reason that was because they thought the U.S. auto cycle had peaked.
Well, I don't think we're going to have a deep dive in sales by any means. I think we're going to have an increase in sales. Consumers need cars. They've kept their cars longer on average than they have in the past. And the result to that the cars need to be replaced. Plus, there's some great quality product that's on the market. There are a lot of refreshed brands, specifically the Chrysler lineup. Just about every vehicle in their lineup has been refaced. And if it hasn't been, it will be after the New York Auto Show.
Yeah, you get all of the stream of auto shows are going to help, I would think, and from a marketing standpoint. Thank you both. Good to see you. Thank you for your thoughts today.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.